this is one you're talking about Coming to America 2. And I finally saw the full long trailer for it, because prior to that they released, a little quick trailer and this is one I can say, well, I won't say I was waiting for it because I didn't really think it was going to happen. But when I found out that it was, I was excited. I enjoyed the first one. It was hilarious. I love Eddie Arsenio. Their ability to play multiple characters requires incredible skill. So I appreciate all of that. But I saw a trailer for it. And yeah, man, the gynocentrism has definitely got to a whole nother series. It has. So in this one of the things that I remembered is, he had daughters. He finds out he has a son back in New York with the character played by, what's her name? Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, that was, I don't know on that one, but the son seems to be kind of buffoonish. It is what it is. I mean, this is, it's a comedy. I get it. But in this particular setting, they're talking about who's going to replace him at the throne. And there's this big question of why it has to be a male versus a female. So they're going, so it's the typical kind of feminist narrative, which threw me, but it is what it is. So this is what I'm just saying is on the table as far as this is concerned. It's, another venture, even, and this was funny to me, even in a fictitious Wakanda, this is pre-Wakanda. Like this what we saw going on and coming to America preceded, well, it didn't precede in the comic books, but definitely on the screen. And yet, even here, we got to fight the patriarchy because Black men, no matter where they are the problem. So here we go, and it's exhausting to me. It's because I see so much of the same narrative in a lot of what I'm watching these days. And I mean, like in the last decade. So, but I'm sad to see it here. To what extent, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen it completely. But watch the trailer, at your own discretion. You tell me what you see. Go ahead and put it in the comments. But it looks to me like this kind of feminist gynocentrism has kind of overrun so many different projects, so many different series, so many different contexts. I mean, from employment to media to policy, there's such a central focus to women and girls to the extent that boys and men, especially in the Black community, have become somewhat oblivious. And so now we're seeing it in projects that are actually led by Black men. And of course, a lot of this has to do with catering to the female dollar, right? We know that statistically speaking, women tend to consume media to greater degrees than men. And we know in the Black community, at least until COVID, I'm waiting for, COVID data. And I'm told it may be a number of months until we really get to see what 2020 looks like in different contexts. But, at least up until COVID, Black women tended to be employed more consistently than Black men. So by that logic, it's understandable that so many different industries since the 80s have been targeting women and girls, and as in terms of finding this new gold mine of resources. And that's what's behind a lot of this gynocentrism. It isn't a value judgment that's based on a moral reflection on the degree to which women and girls have been oppressed by all men across the board. It's really a dollar thing, but it nonetheless shapes the media, which in turn impacts how people see the world and how people engage each other. And so again, and you guys have heard me say this repeatedly, when you have a 12-year-old son who can say he's never seen a boy or a man beat a woman or a girl at anything in media, that's a problem, right? Because it undermines the capability of boys and men, and it really dismisses their importance in society, right? And I think people are starting to figure out slowly how important boys and men actually are. If you actually go, there's an article I'm not going to cover, but my boy Gigi already did. And he's looking at China, and China is actually developing programs to support young men and really reinstitute masculinity in some way, shape, or form, because it's been so attacked. But again, the attack, especially when it's coming from a policy standpoint, is way more detrimental than just a bunch of people standing around talking about they don't like men. We're talking policy, We're talking, in the academy, it's almost become a religion to dismiss, undermine, and denigrate Black men and boys. Shout out M Lavo, appreciate the support. Hope I pronounced that right. So at the end of the day, there's more of this on the horizon. So I'm just alerting you to how some of your favorite series might be dealing with more of this than you might have suspected, right? So just to put it out there, it is what it is. Now,